This is D'Lo Brown. You better recognize this. The only podcast I pay attention to is the Ministry of Wrestling. Believe that.
Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Right, we've just been to another wrestling event, so you know what that means. We're here. It's me, the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
And me, Double V, the Viceroy, Verisimilitude, Nico Luro, coming off a hype, another week of wrestling.
Oh, mate, I swear to you, I don't publicize it as much as Dender Tech, but I am somewhat a wrestling fan who doesn't watch like the product on a weekly basis. However, I pay attention to the product on such a mad level, and what I'm loving more than anything, right? I sadly haven't made it to Hustle yet, but Ignite, Hustle, from what I've heard, and RevPro shows what the UK has got to offer. And my God, RevPro, I've been familiar with RevPro for the longest. Always wanted to go to a show, always just missed it because I want to do it with the boys, and it's always just mixed with something, and we've not seen a chance to do it. Saw Uprising was coming, and what a show! Right. Can I just say, I've never been pumped. Now, before I start, it's not right for me to go in to start it because I only attended the show. This gentleman attended a meet and greet. Bro, I'll let you kick off the journey on this one.
So, do you know what? It was such an interesting thing because the opportunity to meet three people who I admire greatly was, look, we all went for the Billy Goat. We've met Will Ospreay in Newcastle at Turning Point, and I'll tell you a nice, fun Will Ospreay story in just a moment. And we have videos and photos if you're denying any. If you don't believe anything I say, I'm sure AJ will share the videos and photos on this.
They're actually going to be superimposed.
Yeah, exactly. So the first person we met was Zack Sabre Jr., who terrified me with how very, very tall he is. Zach and I actually spoke a bit in Japanese together, which was amazing. Yeah, I asked him, how's your Japanese? And he said, mama. And then we started speaking in Japanese, and he sort of looked at me like, white boy got game. Is that, yeah, man? But he's such a humble guy. Like, he genuinely, I don't think he understands how good he is. And I don't see it as a game. Like, Big Tone said to him, like, you've been in some of the best matches ever. And he was like, I'm not sure that's true. It's like, mate, it absolutely is true. That whole persona he's got with that, the screaming and the whole white dragon bollocks that he does, things like that. It's just not there. It's not him in real life, which tells me he is a phenomenal character wrestler. Phenomenal. To tap into that and not have that as part of his personality. Love it. Look, Tomohiro Ishii is one of the scariest men in the world. I spoke to him in Japanese and he acknowledged me, but let's just say this. He's not a chatty guy. I got my signature. I got my photo with him. I'm a happy man, but he's not a chatty guy. And then the Billy Goat.
Oh. This is the story.
But which part? Because there's two parts to this, which are both excellent.
Just do it in time. I would chronologically tell it because it was one big story that's just absolutely insane.
You're talking about?
I mean, yeah, that's how it starts, isn't it? How it ends is another madness.
Look, the work is cool, but I thought that meant so much more to me. Now, so we're in the queue. And you can see Big Tone, bless him, who's always like kind of cool. And you can see he's visibly actually starting to get quite hype. Like there's a smile on his face. He's shifting a bit. And I'm like, go on, mate, you go for it. So I've said to Big Tone, you go in front. It's your first time meeting him and stuff. He goes up to Will, in his Big Tone bass voice, Will, it's a pleasure to meet you and everything. And he says to him, like, do you recognize these T-shirts? And Will, in his Essex accent, he's like, Ministry of Wrestling, bruv, I can't say I do. And then he looked at me and you could tell his face was like, I recognize you, but I don't know from where. That was the look he gave me on his face. And I looked at him and I went, Turning Point, Newcastle. He launched at me, gave me a fist bump and a freaking hug, and was like, "Bruv!" And I was like, "Stop it."
The Billy Goat. The Billy Goat. Sorry, I have to show it. The Billy Goat. I still can't even open the t-shirt. I'm so gassed. The Billy Goat acknowledged. Yes. Yes. This
Billy
was acknowledged by this. Are you dumb?
Bro, my favorite wrestler in the world actually recognized me. It wasn't an instant recognition. It was like, because he meets so many freaking people, and I'm a nobody, right? But the fact that he didn't recognize the t-shirt until he joined the t-shirt to the face, and then it all started coming back to him. And the fact that he launched him, and we've got the hug on photo, is like, bro. And then he's like, "You man travel, yo, you man travel." And it's like, yeah, man, we're big fans. And now here's a crazy thing that happens. So Big Tone's gone and got his signature, his photo with him, and I'm just there trying to tell him, catch up with him and whatnot. Tell him how great it is to see him again and stuff. And I'm about to say, are we going to get another cheeky Nando's cake tonight? And before I have a chance to even say that, over my left shoulder comes this punch that very lightly catches me in the face. But it's minor. It's nothing like I'd go to security and be like, "Oh, I just got punched." It's like it clipped me, but it was like, whatever. And it catches Will in the mouth hard. Like hard. And put the video up at this point, I guess, AJ. But
yeah, I'm gonna run literally you're gonna see the video. Like that, guys, is not the RevPro footage. This is ministry footage you're looking at right now.
Yeah.
That's Big Tone recording what the hell was going down from our point of view.
And yeah, this fight breaks out with Ospreay and Kid, and the swearing and the fists are flying. And I know they'd been having beef online, but you just think that's all a work, isn't it? And put it this way, I know the rule in wrestling is ABW, always be working. I get it. But this is a meet and greet at an indie show with like 30 or 40 people there. This wasn't Turning Point, which had 500 people before the gates opened. This was small. And so Big Tone, and because I actually got clipped, it also made me think, hang on, this doesn't feel like a work. And Will actually needed to go and cool off. Like, he was legitimately angry. He's like, "I had a meet and greet, bro. But a meet and greet. What's he thinking? What's he thinking?" And he comes back a few minutes later. I'm gutted, obviously, because I'm about to shake Billy Goat's hand and meet him and chat with him, and meet him again and chat with him and stuff. And he's come back and he's visiting. He's apologizing. He's doing the professional thing. He's like, "Oh, bro, I'm sorry. And I'm trying to cheer him up. I'm like, "Bro, I was playing Elevated for my daughter, and she was doing the whole whoa." And that made him smile a bit. And he's like, "How old is she?" I'm like, "She's 2, and she already knows who the GOAT is, mate." So that made him smile. But you could tell he was put out by it. So Big Tone and I leave this, and we're like, did we just get worked? Like, hard. Because you'll see in the video, you can play it back now, AJ. There's this girl with a camera who comes by. Now, if this is real beef, just like the Montreal Screwjob was a work, because you don't put the cameras on something like that. Same logic, right? You don't focus when two of your stars are actually beefing at a meet and greet. And the fact that this girl was one of the people working there was following it with a camera. When I watched the replay, I was like, is it?
Look, so here's the thing. The ministry was literally split in half on this date, right? You had Big Tone and Double V, and then you had Dendatech and AJ coming later on. So we're all meeting at the train station after the meet and greet, and we're like, it is a mix of emotion over. I'm like, look, but it's Kid, like Game Kid and well, and you're like, I know, but bro, I got clipped. Will is bleeding. This ain't no joke. And I'm like, bro, it must be though. And it's like, no, but these men are rolling. And I'm looking at the footage. And I'm like, bro, this is a bit nuts still. And we're like, ooh, and we've not even seen it on RevPro socials.
No.
And you're like, ooh, maybe, like, ooh, this maybe. Maybe.
And can I tell you, after
Yeah.
we'll talk about the actual card in a moment, but can I tell you, after having seen the match, and especially after like hearing the promo that Will cut at the end, I'm still not buying the fact that it was a work. Because
I
think you'll agree with me on this.
Yeah,
that was the most un-Ospreay match I have ever seen.
But listen, seeing him live at Turning Point and seeing him here was two very, very different things. Just like, first of all, you got security literally in the ring. He doesn't have a chance to come round, you know, and the amount of blades that were given out that night. Don't get me wrong. Yes, there's a professional side to it, but we didn't even get Will like we did. But we'll get into that because what came after was, listen, yeah, Will Ospreay is Will Ospreay, man. But yeah, that was an intense match. An intense match. We've kind of hit the main before we've hit.
I know.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, but to go for it. What I will say now from my end was coming through, catching some stuff. The different angles and respect I have got for some people. I can play the game of being worked and in the heelish mode and who I've cheered for and who I haven't. But it was so amazing. I think one of the matches that stood out to me. I'm going to keep my girl to the end because she is who she is to me. But Luke Jacobs. Just going back to your meet and greet. Well, first of all, no, let's take it from the beginning. Zack Sabre Jr. opens the freaking show, and I said freaking YouTube before you start thinking you can start demonetizing, right? That was a match, just as you said. And again, going back from what you said to what you see in the ring, the cockiness, the way he can actually interact with the crowd, to a point where he's done a move, and you can hear one more time.
He's about to set it up, and.
Yeah. But no, he does it once. Then we say it one more time. We're like, two more times. He's like, vote for Labour and I'll do it again. And you're like, the cockiness from this guy. I love it. And he showed why he has been previously dubbed the wrestling wizard. He's shown why he is holding New Japan Gold. The guy is silk. He's Teflon in the ring, man. He just glides. It's ridiculous.
That way he won it, which I called, by the way, before it happened. I said he's going to roll him up and pin him while balancing on his head and having his arms crossed.
Yeah.
The flex, he's my size, Will Ospreay. He's not Will Ospreay, Zack Sabre. He's 6'2". He's a big lad.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's got that level of finesse, flexibility, buttery smoothness, it's like, I'm sorry, he may not be in the quote-unquote big leagues, which are only now defined by money and viewership, not necessarily by talent, objectively. You have to put him in the conversation with the greats at this point.
Do you know one of the things, and I was tempted to say it on the night, and I didn't. You know where we've got this evolution from New Japan, where you had Kenny to Will, and it's the way it's hiding. I can't help but think with the way he's been in AEW, the way he's doing what he's doing in Rev.
Danielson,
do you know what I mean? Like, he's had the matches. I wouldn't be shocked that once the Will Ospreay heat has died down, that belt's dropping and we're looking at either US or actual, IWGP main gold.
He has to.
Without joking, and don't get me wrong, I've seen this guy in the Cruiserweight Classic. I do believe it's level up time. Like, I believe Zack Sabre Jr. is the next big name. The same way people are on Ospreay now, I believe that's Zack Sabre Jr.'s time next. This time next year, you'll be talking about where he's going to be, if he's going to re-sign with New Japan. Is he going AEW? Is he going TNA? Is he going WWE? Because it's never going to be out of the question. It's always going to be a discussion. Sabre Jr. in the Rumble. It's always going to be in the discussion. But, like, I see that. Like, mark it here, 13 minutes, 29. I guarantee it might be a bit further down actually because I've got interest to do. But Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be in the discussion next year of where is he signing to next. So by the time that contract ends, it may not be 2024, 2025 maybe, but people are going to be talking his name a hell of a lot more than they are right now.
They have to. I mean, for me, his ability in the ring, although it hasn't been showcased on the grandest stage, his natural ability, it's not quite on par with Angle, but I'm a believer that no one is. None of the great technical wrestlers are. Angle is just in a league of his own, and I include all the greats: Benoit, Brett. Like, none of them are on Angle's level.
I think his equal was Benoit, though. I know people don't want to talk about it. The classics that they put on, and then when you see what they've done individually, I believe it was that. Honestly, for me,
Benoit was amazing. Angle was on another level to him.
Fair play.
I genuinely believe that. But do I put Zach up there with Regal and Owen and Brett and Chris, Jericho and Benoit? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts how good he is.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. But talking of, that's the talents that we've got now. A talent that I feel needs to be mentioned, and I know he's done New Japan, but I'll be honest, it's the first time I've seen him, but I'm aware of his history. Luke Jacobs. He took on the Stone Pitbull, Tomo Ishii, in one of the stiffest matches. We're talking strong style, British strong style versus, Japanese strong style. One of the stiffest, hardest, brutal, yet technical matches I have seen. And I loved every minute.
Match of the night. Had to be match of the night.
I could go with that. I could go with that. Yeah, I just credit to him. Credit to him.
Tomohiro I Have No Neck Ishii is one of the scariest men alive. He's not a big man. Like, you'll see the photo if you want to put it up on the screen, AJ, of him standing next to me. He's not a big guy, but still wouldn't mess. He's terrifying. The fact that they can go this hard in something which is choreographed just makes you think, so how hard could homie go? Like,
yeah.
But that he blurs the line so well between what is real and what is not, that it all kind of becomes in this wonderful own multiverse of its own, right? It's like, no, we are in the strong star multiverse here, where like hits are real. Like, these guys are hurting each other, and it's quite the thing to behold. Michael Oku.
I mean, look, we'll get there because there's a few bits to hit there, because that is the title, and obviously we're going to hit.
Well, you want to finish with your girls, so I mean, let's talk.
Okay, yeah, I know. But I mean, I just want to give a little shout out to Robbie X, who we met for the first time. He was right next to Zach Gibson and signed us up, and he had one hell of a street fight, bro. I know you had a call to deal with at one point, but there was some stuff with a hammer. I'm not going to put it up because I know YouTube will definitely go there, but I can't even get into details because they're going to say we're inciting violence. Oh, him and Spike Trivet went for a match. That's all I'm going to say. I've seen a street fight live now. Yeah. Okay.
But was it Swerve Hangman?
Nothing will ever be that, because no one believes they can reenact Gangrel using the man's head as a cup. But we won't go there. That's just the real of it. That's just the real of it. We go there. Now, you mentioned Michael Oku. Look, this is where I can admit I'm a mark. As much as I like to play that I'm a smart mark, I'm a mark, right? Because the grizzled young vets, right? I've seen them, and they were the grizzly young veterans in NXT and what have you, NXT UK.
Yeah.
I've followed them, but I've never cheered for them. And it's just the way it is. They've always been in the angle to be the heels, or I've just preferred another team. And having met Zach Gibson, I just loved everything about him. And knowing he was in the main was something. And can I say, and this is not knocking Michael Oku. I've seen his video in Ignite. I was excited to see him. I know he's going to be in Jericho Cruise. But my God, for a man who's a tag team
carried.
Zach just was. He should not look. A wrestler is a wrestler. I'm not going to knock it. But if you're a tag team artist, I should not be expecting that level of singles match that came out from
Right.
Right. I was actually looking and hoping that my scarf was there, but I think I've left it next door. The ministry held that scarf up, the grizzled young veterans scarf, like it was a flag. We were there for it. And James Drake JD coming out after was just the ultimate icing for us. Like, having met them as well, I can never boo them again. I don't care what Scouser jokes anyone wants to make or anything. These guys are.
Gerard.
Listen. They're in my books now, man. They are.
No, dude, they have to be. But look at Giselle Shaw, ultimate heel. We're not going to boo her.
No. This is it. There are some people that you're just on, like, and the humbleness of these guys, and again showing what it means to bet on yourself, leaving the big leagues, and James, Zach, the ministry support you guys. The next thing I'm going to get is the Fighting Spirit t-shirt. I just loved everything about these guys.
So no comments on Michael Oku.
Here's my thing about Michael Oku's style. I think he's got the talent. Awesome frog splash. I think it's a
lovely
pity
frog.
I think it's a pity that he goes for this single crab over the frog splash as a finisher, if I'm honest.
Yes, agreed.
And I feel there's too much of a beat, too much of a sell. You make Jeff Hardy look like the innovator of offense, and that kind of
Spends too much time on his back for a champion.
It's there. But having read the comments and seeing what people said, him and Will had a barn burner of a match, and there was that. Now, okay, look, through it. Let's get into that now. Let's get into it now. Oku beats Zach, and that's a big thing. Oh God, how can we forget you and Anthony Ogogo? So much happened in this show; it's unreal.
Yeah. Cody's smart. Cody's smart. Cody's smart.
And he turns around, dead eyes Nico. Yeah, dead eyes Nico fakes the punch. Nico's like, and what, bro? It was mad. Yeah, it was awesome seeing another member of the Knight family.
You rated me for that, innit? Like a boxer coming at me, and I was like, "I'll kill you, bro!" Like 10 years of kickboxing, I will kill you. Like he did not like being called Cody's B, did he?
Woo! No. Oh,
because he was ready. He was ready to go, and you see the about turn. He did like what? Like yeah, and what?
You what? You? I'm what? Yeah. No, but again, I Michael. Anthony, sorry. What is it, Michael? Oh my God, I'm talking to the champ. Anthony, my namesake, while we're at it. I respect you for taking the time to play into the character,
100%.
whether you like it or not. Turning back, giving that 100. Look, this is what RevPro done for me in such a way that I just loved it all. And this is a short one, guys. So it's not the long one. The ministry are going to be going through something. That video that's come in, maybe a day's worth of, like a week's worth of footage. Yeah. So there was the stare down between Will Ospreay, who says February 18th, which we'll be in attendance for. Is his final RevPro match, and this is such a pain. The amount of times we've missed him at RevPro.
I know.
And I'll give Oku his credit. He had the stones to step down, and I've heard this soundbite before. That
he's
Will
so going over though.
Oh, for sure. But I've heard this soundbite from people that Will doesn't know how to use the mic.
Will's got good on the mic.
In the build-up to he's one of the last New Japan pay-per-view, he delivered an awesome promo talking about the history that he had with his opponent. We then go into the build-up for this Uprising. Him and Kid went back and forth, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
What he said, the intensities, the chills, even him posing to his song and just saying that he's at another level. Him versus Oku and showing what he's going to go through. Well, I'm going to tag you in this. I'm going to make it a short because I just have to say the mic work on top of you being the Billy Goat in the ring. I can't wait to see what you've got. I cannot wait to see what you've got for us in AEW. Look, listen, it's a pity that the UK is losing you, bro, but we understand and we support you fully because it's with the highest respect to this T-shirt. It's bigger and better things. It's on a national scale, weekly television. We get it.
Main event of Wembley, brother.
Yeah. There's going to be so much in it, and I know Rev support you in what you're doing because you've been their boy. You've been our boy, and we thank you for it. And that intensity of the stare down, I'll give it to Oku. They had it, and I love. I mean, okay, that we started it. There was that one guy on the other side who started the Michael Oku chant, and we had the Billy Goat chant, and it was a back and forth. And these guys both. Oh, do you know what? Oku had it where he held the belt and he had the shake and the drop. He knows his stuff in the ring. I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah,
the in-ring story
well.
is a different thing, but yeah, there's
a lot. Finish
there.
with your girl then, because we've got to wrap now. But finish with your girl. Wrap up.
We talk about being recognized by the Billy Goat, and the T-shirt means something we don't know. I've said it for the longest while. I want a Subculture T-shirt ever since. I've loved them in NXT UK. Turning Point was even more. I loved it. The connection we had with them is that. And I'm not going to buy it off of the websites. No, I'm not dissing the websites, but I'm like, I can get this because they're going to be at Rev. Like, I'm going to buy it in the UK. I'm going to buy the T-shirts there. And I was so happy to see that Danny Luna was there. Sadly, Mark and Flash couldn't be there for reasons, whether they were going to be there, wasn't going to be there. But you could ask anyone. Even Dender Tech was like, oh, is that the girl that you've been? I did not shut up for 2 weeks. Any word that has come out of the 1AJ's mouth normally ended in the words Danny Luna. Okay, Danny, I'm sorry, it sounds stalkerish, but it's the truth. Like, it's been Danny. I can't wait to see Danny. Oh my God, we're going to see Danny again. Danny comes down the ring, goes around the ring, And we're just getting ready to say, like, do you remember us? The words, oh my God, the boys. I lost my ish. I lost my ish. Oh my God, Danny remembers us. And it was one of the best women's matches I've seen.
She was marking with us throughout her match, you know, like there was
We were
look-ups,
cheering
there
and
was
she's acknowledging every
acknowledgements,
chant
there
that
was
came.
hearing the cheers. It was big, man.
It was
And then
big.
coming up, hang on, the ending.
But this is what I'm going to touch on. This is what I'm going to touch on. As the 1, 2, 3 came, and I'm not going to pretend like it could have been all around the ring, but I do believe there was this slight eye contact where I gave a nod to be like, yeah, well done. And I'm so happy. So happy can't even match what comes next, because anyone who, let's quote WWE, has seen the John Cena moment where he's won the title and he leans into the crowd. Seeing Dani Luna hold 2 titles at one time is one thing. For her to come out and pose with the title for the cameras, to post with Dani Luna in the freaking Ministry of Wrestling, made me lose my ish. I swear to you.
To the degree I need to go and check out this pay-per-view on replay.
Oh, listen, I'm just waiting for my paycheck to come through, and I'm on RevPro on demand. That's my new thing. I don't care, because this gave us everything that I needed, and I'm now RevPro. Like, I didn't buy the t-shirt for fun. As I said, Ignite showed me something. RevPro done it. Hustle. I'm hoping you guys can match the energy with respect when I say that. I did not know, and this is for anyone watching abroad. UK wrestling is not to be messed about with. Nope. UK wrestling is not a joke. I'm so glad.
Don't mess.
I'm so glad my eyes have been open to this.
And if you doubt us, you can check out an interview with Alicia Edwards, which should be on the channel now, where she's actually said, damn, you UK fans know your stuff. Make like Roman Reigns and acknowledge the UK.
That's that. And while we're talking Alicia Edwards and talking Dani Luna, I just before pressing record, there's an image and I'm going to put it up right now. Yep, you look at that. Dani Luna has signed with TNA. So not only is she holding 2 belts, she's signed with TNA. Dani, you have just continuously made my day. Like, you shouldn't be walking into your house and the lady at your house is like, how's things? And I was like, I'm over the moon. I saw Dani. Who's Dani? You never mentioned Dani before. I go back into my room. I'm like, this is Dani. I've got my subculture, and this is Dani. So there was big stuff. And Dani, all I can say from the Ministry of Wrestling, thank you for that moment you gave us when the minute you're holding 2 titles, prove that you are the queen of British wrestling, showing that Dani doesn't die. You celebrated that with us. And again, guys, after the show, when security's kicking us out, look what she gave us. Check that pic out right now. The full Ministry and Dani Luna. Like it or lump it, it's just the way it is. I think with permission, I might need to get like a Ministry and Subculture t-shirt printed. I don't know. I know legally I'm not allowed to do that, guys, but I would love to do that.
Don't make an enemy out of our new friends.
No, I'm not. But I just wanted. I might just put it on the back where it says the 1AJ instead of 2 Sweets Only. It might just say Subculture's biggest fan. That might be what my new says, because that's just the way I am. Because these guys fight to the top. They fight to the top. But look, guys, as I said, this is short, sweet. Do go on RevPro on demand. We're not endorsed to say this. There is no payment.
No, this is just opinion.
This is just opinion. Go check it out. That is a pay-per-view not to be missed. And February 18th, Billy Goat. You done know. I shouldn't throw this up because you just kicked one man's rear end for throwing that up. But yeah, we're there for the final Will Ospreay UK RevPro match. So until the next time, guys, and you will see the Ministry in his house for the next show. I am the 1AJ Anthony Jordan.
I'm Double V Nicoluro. Keep it right here on the Ministry. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out our interview with Alicia Edwards, our interview with Chris Bay. Check out all our videos. We got lots of stuff. We'll see you guys very soon.